Sunshine, how are you, man?
Good, how are you?
Good. Welcome back.
Thanks.
What's
Thank you
going
for
on?
having
Nice to
me.
have you on, Sunshine.
That's Richie now, finally. He's always disappearing, this guy, man.
Yeah,
Sorry, man.
Sorry
That's
we
all
missed you last week.
It looked good.
Look good, we'll see if the views are up. It's only done 7 so far. I'll probably got to re-upload
Oh,
it,
you
man.
should have sent me the link. A few people want to watch it.
No, I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you for sure. What's been happening? What are we talking about today, man? Have you got another story? I want another story before we start a new topic.
So I just wanted to make Richard laugh, right?
Yeah.
So there's always this one story that just hits my mind whenever someone asks.
Yeah,
"Oh,
One or
what's it?"
two?
One
She's got a
leads
couple.
to another, right?
Okay.
So there was this one offender, and he'd been supervised for quite some time by his officer. I had done a home visit with her, with her. Had the best time doing home visits with her, because I was always the bad cop, and she was always the good cop.
Okay.
So we'd rock up to random houses on the list, and we'd do the home visit. So we've been to this guy's house before, so I know what he looks like. His missus was quite nice. So one day, he's transferred to another office, but then he decided he needs to speak to her. Calls her up and he goes, officer. He goes, "Oh, I need to tell you." She goes, "What's going on, offender?" And he goes, "I need to tell you, wallah." He's Lebanese. He goes, "I didn't do it. I didn't know. I swear to God, I didn't know.
Swear on everything?
Everything, I didn't know." And she goes, What happened?" He goes, "I swear I didn't know." He goes, "I was fucking her from the back." And then she turned around
Yeah.
and it was a bloke.
Wow.
And I said to the officer, I said, "Well, hold on." Because I'm quite out there. And I said to her, "Well, hold on. I know when a guy is getting with the girl, the first thing the guy does after making out with her is go for her vagina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First thing he's going to touch,
Yes.
he's going to get her ready for it."
Yes.
And I'm laughing because I'm in stitches, right? And she goes, "That's a good point." I said, "Why did he go straight for anal, of all things? Anal?"
Yeah.
And then I go, "Didn't his balls bang onto her?"
Yeah, didn't he touch his ball bag when you know when
You know when you're...
There's got to be a bit of clapping. I'm like,
So,
together.
You know that thing on tables.
There's gonna be a lot of beep beep. There's gonna be a lot of beep 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 beep.
Because I should have known. There was a bit of stubble on her chest, but she had the great rack.
Have you heard stories like that?
No.
Stories like that?
Really?
Like the one that she's. Has there been? Have you heard anyone like that?
Like that new?
Yeah, I've never
They didn't know.
Okay. I'll tell you what this one. So they were driving home from a club, and he's dresses up like a girl, right? And the guy was
tranny.
like a tranny, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think there was someone in the front, and he was at the back with her, and he's like he was a bit drunk, right? He kind of knew, I think he kind of felt something, and he goes, who cares, man?
Oh wow. Usually trannies are blessed as well, man.
I don't know, man.
They got bing bangers on them. Man.
But how could you not know, right? There's always
There's a lot, what you were
the
saying.
voice, and the
voice.
the male-shaped face is
Like what you said.
No, but
double
usually
transition.
not
Trying to
really,
start filling up.
man. Now they got technology because I was working when I was doing security at like a LGBT joint.
Yeah.
And honestly, they've got their hips curved, shoulders shaved. That's all gone, and they've put the Audi into an innie. It was.
That's
a
transitioned.
But that's
far out.
That would be
man.
maybe
I could not tell that
4%
was.
of
Yeah,
them.
I could not tell that was.
True.
That
Yeah,
was
so
a guy
when they've
before.
fully transitioned and they've done the surgery, you won't know.
Yeah.
Would you go there? If you didn't know, it's a full girl now.
Bro, so someone put up a picture and I was like, fuck, who's that? He goes, brother, that's a bloke.
You won't know. It's like the lady boys in Thailand.
Before we start something, I'm going to give you this. If you go and meet up with a girl, okay, it was a guy before, but it's a girl now, everything's all done. That's got that in it, it's got everything curved. And halfway through, you think it's a girl, you're doing everything, and then you find out it's a bloke. What'd you do?
But how would you know? They're fully transitioned.
Yeah, but say in between, somehow you found something out.
Maybe, okay, maybe.
It went and then went, no, and then went,
No, they've fully transitioned.
But let's just say, so halfway through, you find out.
She's going.
Okay.
She's going down and she looks up.
Are you going to keep going, or are you going to stop there?
You'd be curious, right?
knowing it's a girl, it feels like a girl. Everything's the whole feeling, and you're like,
But I don't know. Like I'm pretty sure like it would like turn you off, right? Wouldn't it?
I don't know, man.
I reckon
Or maybe
go
I'll just
for
go.
it.
No,
You know, maybe I'll just go. Fuck it, bro.
Time's tough.
Times are tough, man.
Yeah.
So, any other stories about your ex-job, parole officer? Before
one
we get
just-
on to your new job.
That one just kind of always jumps into my head. Hey,
Yeah, because look, you said there was
Some interesting
you kind
things,
of
that's
like
why.
a touchdown where
yeah, it's
and then when you're hitting it from the back, it's supposed to be playing ping pong or something
Oh.
down there.
That's pretty bad. Was that during parole? That was
yeah.
one of your things.
Yeah, that was a few years ago.
Was there another one like that? Another case like that?
Not as hilarious as that one.
Wow.
And then
Is it
I,
hard to deal with people like those kind of people that come out of jail and all of that stuff?
the trannies?
No, just in general, like
No,
people on parole.
no. I mean, most of them are quite nice to you
Okay,
anyway.
yeah.
Because they know, like, you're like an officer of the law who can
Yes.
return them to prison if
If they stuff up, right?
they have to really stuff up, though. So,
Oh, okay.
but in that instance with that guy doing that lady, I turned around and then I worked out who it was that he had slept with. I said, nah, she hadn't fully transitioned. Blind Fred could see that was a man. But no, he wasn't. But he wasn't the only one that would have, enjoyed.
How do you know? He probably thought it was an Audi. Flapping around.
I met her, and she had an amazing rack on her, but she was clearly a man.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of dodgy stuff happening in that stuff, man, like in that game.
Like that way?
Like work way.
No, not really. I think it depends, but like you would really hear of instances where people, you may hear it from like an offender.
Yeah.
So like once I met this guy after parole, and he said that he didn't sleep with his parole officer who was a male, but he would, I don't know if he ended up in his house or this guy did a home visit or whatever, but it was clear breach of code of conduct and he was trying to sleep with him. So you've got that instance where that happens, but that was from someone that was after parole who had told me the story.
Oh.
Has there been any like female parole officers that have?
Not that I know of, but I've heard of.
Yeah, because you hear it, like even like correction officers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard stories
They're
of
all
like
over
them
the
doing
news.
jailbirds and that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
It's
And the
crazy.
thing is, why would you? Like, he's in jail for a reason. Why would you stoop that low?
Oh, boy, it's just
I
attraction.
was talking to some girl, like mate, and that she said that she got like done because she walked in. You know how you're not supposed to walk in the cell or something like that unaccompanied. You have to have two people there.
Mm-hmm.
She I think it was twice. They caught her on there and they full fired her because she
Was she sleeping with him?
No, she said she wasn't, but I think she was tugging someone their job, right?
What are you doing?
It happens. It's a manipulation game. You know?
But they're very good, those blokes, you know? They're in there for a while. They'll be sweet talking anything.
What about in your workplace? Is there any secret affairs and shit that go on?
No.
Is it hard, do you reckon, to do it?
Oh, God,
You're not
yeah.
allowed to, eh?
Yeah. No, and look, it ends up hitting the media anyway, right? Because there'll be an internal investigation. Somewhere along the line, someone's going to snitch on you to the media. Even like with the community service work, the Bankstown office was done because of corrupt behaviour a long time ago. I think it's about 10 years now.
Yeah.
Where the offender was asked to pay to get out of community service work. Now, he didn't know. He was asked, hey, you pay this money, you go to this place, pay this money, and you don't have to do your community service work. Now, he was going to do his community service work. So one day he rocks up to the office and he explains to the normal organiser wasn't there. He goes, I need to speak to someone. He spoke to someone else that wasn't that person that was involved in corruption. And he goes, listen, I can't pay this fee anymore. And they go, what are you talking about? He goes, every week I rock up to do my community service work. I'm asked to pay a fee. He goes, I don't have the money for it. And then everything came undone for this person who's still in prison.
Oh, wow.
well.
Yeah. So, and you get a harsher sentence than a regular person committing corruption. You know, like bribery,
obviously,
whatever.
because you're not supposed, you're not expected not to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
So he was in cahoots with the...
So he didn't know that he was paying and he got in trouble even more.
Yeah, so the offender doesn't get in trouble. Because the offender
Oh, he didn't know.
didn't know.
Yeah.
He said, He's thinking this is part of his community service work. He has no idea.
Wow.
So, and the officer and this agency were both getting that, dividing up the money between themselves.
Is there a lot of corruption that goes on in those workplaces? Like money-wise and stuff like that? There would be, man.
I think it's been stamped out in the last few years, no way. Like they just, so when you go in to do community service work, you're told straight off, you do not attend private offices, private places. You only do, agencies that the government has signed you to do, and this is where you're going every week. And these are agencies that are signed off, and they're non-for-profit. It cannot be a for-profit organisation. So, and you would be told if you're taken to a private residence, inform someone. Nothing happens to the offender. It's corrupt behaviour. So I think it's been stamped out.
So what about like, okay, non-profit, all that you said, but the individual in there will still be like, how do I make money? There's always going to be a person that's going to be like, let's see if I could ask this guy that's on parole, give me some money or a story about it.
No, but like they're manipulators, right? Because they don't have a criminal record because they're sweet. I mean, some people are.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a one-time mistake, whatever. But the ones that have ongoing record, they're master manipulators. They'll try in an interview, hey, can you help me out? Can you take care of me?
Yeah.
No, absolutely no way.
Yeah.
Say if they give you, here's 100 grand.
No,
That's 100 grand.
it's 100 grand. But how in Sydney? How long will 100 grand last
A
you?
million.
How long would that last you too?
That's a million.
Oh, it's your house,
Far out, man.
right?
Yeah.
Who's going to offer you $1 million?
Let's just say.
No, still not, because you end up in jail, and that's a big amount.
And you get a massive whack for it, don't you? Wouldn't?
And then, can you imagine going to prison as an officer of the law?
Yeah.
Like you
can't.
No, I think they put him in a specific jail as well. Like it's like a low security,
it's minimum
out
security,
of somewhere far,
It's
far
pretty
away.
much just like a home.
Yeah.
Minimum security.
It's still jail.
It is.
Like your liberty is gone. It's your reputation is gone.
Finish.
When you do come out, who wants to touch you?
And then on top of that, like you'll be all over the media, wouldn't
That's
you?
right.
Yeah.
The accumulation for you and your family and your colleagues.
Yeah.
Does that happen still, but?
I haven't heard of it.
Any
in a
other
long
corruption
time.
that goes on? Is there any other corruption?
No, maybe in other government departments.
Like?
Should I say the name? Like,
I mean, you can. Like, I don't know.
so I've worked for several government departments.
What's something that's like corrupt that you've seen? Have you seen someone that's been corrupt now, recently?
Like, I know, so in government, right? So if you're in a senior position, you shouldn't, it's a breach of code of conduct, going into a relationship with someone below you, right? So if anyone directly works with you or in your organization within the same office, now if it was happening at another office, you're not directly reporting to that person. I don't know if that's a breach, but a breach of code of conduct would be if I entered into a relationship with an executive that I was working for. So because it is a power struggle, there's a power dynamic. So would I have entered into that relationship with an executive? Hell no. If he was a regular person, if he was at my level, no.
No.
So in one of the government departments I've worked for, this was a common issue.
Yeah.
And it was to the point that people had accepted that and it was normalized. Whereas when I came and I thought, nah, this is not right. And you heard about how a particular woman entered into a particular relationship with the one executive.
Yeah.
And he would find a way to manipulate and get himself into a relationship with these women. He's like, what is it, an MO? You call it an MO, right?
What's an MO?
Modus operandi, is that,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so his
yeah.
MO would be find a particular, in particular, a white woman, in particular, a blonde woman, good looking, lean, pretty, gorgeous. The minute she started working there, he would gravitate towards her and he would just hang around her all day. Why does an executive need to hang around with a regular employee of the company?
Punani.
You don't, right?
Yeah.
Punani.
Yeah, you don't need to, right? Whether she was single or married, he didn't care. So he'd hang around until and this guy wasn't from Australia. He was a white guy with an accent. So he would seem a bit more attractive, a bit more classy.
Yeah.
You know, like a bit more sophisticated. So a woman would look, oh, you know, like, I'll say it, I find the guy with an accent very attractive. So this guy has, got an accent, sophisticated, he's an executive. Time and time again, this man entered into relationships with women in this organization. And time again, these women, when these relationships went sour, they were pushed out the door, found another gig outside the organization, and yet this scumbag remained.
But hold on, wait, let me cut you off there. Isn't that the female's fault as well?
How?
I mean, she's choosing to go there.
It may be consenting,
Yeah.
and there's no disputing that some of these relationships was consenting, because there's instances where he simply just sexually harassed someone. And when those people, those women, went to the commissioner herself and said, so-and-so has been doing this to me, it was wiped underneath the carpet and said, oh, there's nothing to see, he's done nothing wrong.
Okay, that's fair enough. And I'm not sticking up for no one. But because I've heard these stories where it's like they're together and they're secretly having this relationship, and as soon as it goes sour, he sexually harassed me. You've heard these?
No, in these instances, they're not saying he sexually harassed me. What I'm saying, and I informed on him, is that there's a power imbalance and he's used his power, which is a breach of code of conduct in the government policy, to enter into a relationship with a subordinate. Whether or not it was consenting, the relationship should not have happened.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Because there's a power imbalance.
Because he's using
And as
his
soon
power.
as it turns sour,
Yeah, but is that person
she was
equally?
pushed out.
Yeah, but is she equally to blame as well?
No, I don't think so, because
But why is that?
in the ones I do know, one of them recently lost her husband,
Oh, wow.
divorced or
And she was
dead.
the executive.
He manipulated. You take advantage of vulnerable women when they're vulnerable, right? So like, how do you, like, it's with anything. If you find, lots of men who do this. I think I spoke to you about it last time, where that one offender who came into the office drunk, that particular offender, all his life entered into relationships with women with a disability. Why? Because he could manipulate them.
Oh wow.
Wow.
That's ruthless.
You know, like that's what he did. They provided him because these women would have a house from Department of Housing. He had nothing.
Yeah.
He would manipulate himself into their lives. Whether or not he was a good partner, he always consistently found or was in a relationship with vulnerable women. Always.
So all these female workers, let's say the ones that came, they were all vulnerable.
Yes, so the two I 100% two of them I know of. One of them wasn't a vulnerable woman. One of them was a corrupt woman who got sacked from the New South Wales police force. How she managed to find herself in employment in a New South Wales government.
New South Wales, yeah. How?
Nobody knows, right? That same executive director that I'm referring to hired a sex offender mate of his. How does a sex offender gain employment in a government department
That's crazy.
without a working with children's check that we all had to do? How did he get away with that? There's an article written about this.
I think I heard about this
Yeah,
one.
this is a few years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
This was in 2019.
And he's still active.
He
still
stayed.
working?
No, he recently left.
It's
The offender left.
The offender left right away as soon as the.
What about the big head honcho, that boss?
No, he remained, and the commissioner remained.
And he's
So
still-
the
and-
sex
and
offender.
they're still there.
Yeah. Oh, one of them is. One of them recently
Leave the
resigned.
job, mate.
No, he left. So
There you
the sex offender left, right? It hit the media. It was just too, it's just a bit too dirty. Who gets sacked? The person who accesses a HR record.
Wow.
Why's that?
But no one.
Breach of privacy.
Wow, so there's not a loophole,
Yeah.
Far out.
Yeah.
So they know what they're doing, obviously.
So maybe that's not corrupt, and yes, but the way it was explained to me is that technically it wasn't a breach of privacy, but also she shouldn't have really looked up that person's record. But if that record had not come to fruition, you had a person who would have been on the child protection register, maybe, but he was definitely a sex offender.
Wow.
So was he
Dealing
a
with-
sex offender
Yeah.
before it?
Yeah.
Okay. How did he get the check?
No, his
I don't
mate
think
gave
he
him the
did.
job.
Yeah,
there's no checks.
there was no check.
He's the
And
one
if-
that checks.
Yeah.
If you read the article, they defended themselves by saying they didn't really have to do the checks,
Wow, that's
which is all and good. But this particular person in that particular role would
Wow.
be investigating practitioners who were being investigated for sexual misconduct against children.
Wow.
So that guy,
crazy.
that head honcho person you're talking about, that individual, he's left now.
He's left now.
Okay, so is there a case against him right now? No, there's nothing.
Oh, time will tell.
Okay.
Time will tell.
Yeah,
But
'cause
I
they
mean,
bring him
he's-
back
Because
up.
he's recently left, but
If
a lot.
he's left, does that mean he's got nothing to do with it anymore?
I don't think so. I think that he
If
still
they
needs
can bring
to.
it up, yeah.
But they
If
need
they
evidence, right?
let's say if they investigate that whole section he was at, and something pops back up, maybe.
I think so. I don't know how. Say that if they've been reported to the Independent Commission Against Corruption, if they
Yeah.
do an investigation, whether or not he continues to answer for his behaviour while he was there, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But someone needs to be held accountable because he got away with it. And how did he get away with it?
Yeah.
Time and time and time again.
Sometimes.
Yeah, it wasn't just that. There was nepotism. There was favoritism. He hired people or progressed them through the organisation because he liked them. You know, you kissed his ass.
That's power, right?
Yeah.
Is this parole officing? Like,
No.
Okay, this is
That's
another.
a different
This is full
organisation.
like legit.
This is a
stuff,
different
right?
organisation.
Never seen anything like that in parole.
No, you don't want to name it.
No, not yet.
Fair enough. So in like a situation like that, who gets involved with the government? Like, what is it? Is it police? Like, who is it? Is it a outside body that starts investigating these type of actions?
It would be ICAC.
Okay.
You're saying that.
Okay.
And they're very reliable.
So what
are
are ICAC? So what does ICAC do? What's
They,
their job? Are they just strictly just for government corruption or something, or?
far as I know, because I've looked into them, it's mostly because you're holding like government employees or departments and you're looking into their corrupt behaviour.
Yeah. Okay.
If a private entity did it, is it corrupt? Because it's a bit different, right? Whereas the New South Wales government employees and the federal don't have an ICAC, you have to answer to someone for corrupt behaviour if it's identified.
Okay.
And is that part of the government or is that a private company?
Government.
Okay. Wow, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, you would surprise how many government agencies are created to like look into it. So you can go to like, for instance, as well, Safe Work Australia and report because it becomes a hazard at work because the way it impacts people's mental health.
Yeah.
So you can go to them. You can go to you can report onto them to the New South Wales Ombudsman.
Yeah,
So it's like the work cover of
Ombudsman's
government
like
work.
Fair Work.
Yeah, Fair
You
Work.
can go there and they're
Fair
usually
Work,
with the people, not with the businesses.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Yes.
But look, back to those females that were emotionally damaged or whatever. How did they get the job if they were emotionally damaged?
They would have already done whatever assessment to get the job. I'm not saying they were emotionally damaged by the relationship. What I'm saying
Like
is,
they would have been going through personal stuff and then that.
Yeah.
It's like they want someone to be with them or something or some crap. Whatever it is.
it's not hard to take advantage of someone who's vulnerable.
Especially when you've got like some sort of power, like and they use it.
All you have to do is like say, I'm contacting you because I'm reaching out to you because I'm concerned about you and your welfare. If you need anything, I'm here for you. And then you keep bombarding them. It's like that love thing, when they say
like lover boy.
love bombing.
Yeah, love bombing.
Yeah, you keep doing it, and that person might think, I'm in a lonely, sad space, and this person wants to help me out.
Yeah.
You usually see that from the guys' side doing that, to girls. You don't really see women do it to the guys.
Yeah, we don't love bomb. I think it's two ways.
No, guys usually love bomb more than girls. Girls aren't romantic, by the way. Women are romantic.
No, we want the romance.
Men are the romantic ones.
Yeah, but love bombing isn't romantic.
That's in even in animals. You look at a peacock male, what does he do? He does all these things just to get a root. Flashes the feathers and shit, does a dance and all that just to stick it in.
But that's the job, hey? It's the male thing is to initiate the romance.
Yeah, of course.
But love bombing is a bit more, it's more, trying to get you.
I don't get it.
It's constantly messaging a person, calling them. I love you. I had such a great time with you.
But surely you got to understand, like, there's a lot of women that take advantage of that as well. Because there's actual real women that suffer that. Okay, fair enough. But then there's a lot of women that jump on that bandwagon just to either get money out of the person, and the guy's not love bombing. It happens. You see it always. Guy gets
Happens.
famous, all of a sudden he's got some sexual charge or something.
Yeah,
out of
that's
nowhere. It's crazy. I don't
He
know.
becomes attractive because he's got money.
Of course, women are attractive to the worst things.
We just
and they
don't
go, all
care.
men are
He's
the
got
same.
money.
Do
Like
you
I was-
care about that stuff?
When I was younger, no. Now I'll be like, yeah, why not? He's got money.
He can love bomb me all he wants.
Like I had a massive crush on this guy when I was younger, before I got married, and it went on for years, right? And I was telling my sisters today, I'm like, I'm so grateful I didn't end up marrying him or being with him. Maybe I had a chance.
Yeah.
He did tell me once I had a chance, but then he was poisoned by his mate. Don't take her. And then I said to my sister, I go, you know, I'm so glad I didn't take him. She's like, well, I go, because he turned out to be like a, you know, number one womanizer. You know, like his hit list, body count is like over 1,000.
But what's wrong with that?
That's not really good for a married man.
Okay, but like, I mean, what about before that?
No, if he was single, no issues, right?
Look, women like guys with high body counts.
No, that's disgusting. I
They
can't stand it.
trust me, it's an attraction. You know why? That's why when women see a guy with like a couple of women around him, it's an attraction.
Yeah.
No.
That's why you always see like 100 girls around like a superstar. Why? Because he's a virgin.
Sounds like they've turned into peacocks.
That's what
But no,
men usually are.
well, I don't find that attractive. And then I said to them, oh, you know what? But he's loaded, so I probably would have put up with the womanizing.
Yeah, see, it's all right.
You know, he's got about
It's
7
all about
houses.
status.
He's rich.
Yeah.
Maybe I would have put up with it. I don't know, but if you truly
Never
love
late.
someone, you wouldn't have been devastated.
It's never too late.
That wasn't. He's offered.
Seriously?
He's offered.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So back
If
to
it
this
turns out I
ICAC
can't be
stuff.
wife,
How long has
1,000.
ICAC been around, man?
Either the 90s, I think the 90s, when there was a
wow.
lot of
Okay.
police corruption.
Yeah.
You reckon ICAC's corrupt as well?
No.
Not at all. No. There's
Percent,
not one
like
guy.
100% good, right?
Yeah, so like, you know, like government employees do like a satisfaction survey every year, and ICAC got like an outstanding result compared to like.
Surely there's got to be
government-
someone corrupt-minded in there if they've seen millions of dollars.
They've got a lot of ex-detectives and cops in there.
They got
So like,
got a lot
that
of
would have done a
robots there,
huge.
bro.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
G.I. Joes, the ones with the keys hanging off the side. And shit. Yeah.
And I think you've got to have like a law degree to even just be an assessor there.
Wow.
Wow.
So have you dealt with this person that left, this individual? He was your boss as well?
I never really had much dealings with him. I just heard a lot about him, so I collected the information and gathered it,
What for?
kept gathering it, so I can report on it.
Oh, wow. So you actually reported.
Yeah, I've got a lot of integrity.
You take your work very serious.
I take the fact that we are government employees very serious, and we answer to the public. You just don't answer to your executive and your commissioner.
Yeah.
You answer to the public who
Public,
knew,
yeah.
if they knew what was going on, would be disgusted and say, is this what's representing us?
Yeah.
Especially with that type of government department who a lot of people contact for assistance because something's gone wrong in their lives, right? And now when it hits the media, and it will soon, because there's a couple of journalists onto it, when it does hit the media, the people that have contacted this government department and didn't get the outcome they were seeking are going to start wondering, is it because of the corrupt behaviour? Wasn't my issue looked into because, was it legitimately not looked into? A lot of people will start questioning that.
Wow.
But tell me, every government's corrupt. Like
don't
this
think so.
ICAC and that, do they actually like go to the high up there? Because a lot of corruption happens everywhere.
What do you mean
know?
high up?
Like, like we're talking parliament and stuff, like the...
The answer, each government department answers to
Okay.
the committee in New South Wales government.
And everyone you reckon's honest in there.
In ICAC, I'm not sure. I've never really had
No, like government-wise. Like that's what I say, like corruption will never stop. That's my point.
No, of course not, because
course
there's
not.
always going to be that person
There's
that
someone-
oversteps that boundary.
But they all overstep that boundary. As
Not
soon as they
everyone.
get into power.
You've got people like me with integrity.
Yeah, but see,
Do you
that's
think
not-
there's a lot of yous in
Yeah.
But see, because you're on a lower level, but like the people that are rising to the ranks, they got to have some form. That's what I think. That's my opinion. Like they have some form of corruption to get up there.
No.
You can't get up there because you're honest.
I worked with a lot of managers in, like community corrections, and I think like not all of them, because I think some of them are poorly behaved. One guy jumps into my mind. He should have been sacked a long time ago.
Well, what did he do?
Discriminatory. He just because he thought he was from an ethnic background, he could call people coconuts to their faces. We're talking about a person in management calling me a terrorist.
Oh, wow.
Calling people coconut heads.
Wow.
Making Asian jokes.
Wow.
And the best thing...
Telling Indians to go to 7-Eleven.
Probably. Or curry munchers. He was quite rude. Direct to your face. When anyone reported on him, and he was reported on my behalf, not that I did it, he was sent to cultural awareness training. And he's come back was like, love, I shouldn't have to do that because I'm ethnic.
Okay.
Doesn't
so
make
pretty
you
much
not
the way
racist.
you're talking, I can already know what this guy is.
He's an ethnic.
He's an ethnic.
Ethnic. He's not white Australian, no.
Wow.
He's, parents were probably
European
part of,
for sure.
European.
Yeah.
They came out, they worked hard, and this guy, I don't think
This
he was
cat's
a bad
pissing
person.
everywhere around me, man. Paw. You smell it?
I don't think this person was really a bad person.
Sorry.
I could smell it too.
Sorry.
Did you smell it before?
It's either this guy or this bloke here.
No, because I was about to pass out because the first time I went...
It came through my nose,
Nostrils,
bro.
mate. Bit more fish. Cut that bit out, yeah.
It's staying in there. Wow. That's crazy, man.
But that guy was like, oh, what did he say? He used to say, wow.
Oh, wow. So what
and
was that?
But he was good for a laugh.
Heads.
When he wasn't being rude,
It was good.
it was good for a laugh.
I think usually people that have that type of racism in them, they're pretty funny.
Yeah.
You could banter with him, but he didn't
Like
know
open
when to
racism.
not. He didn't know when to pull back. And the first time he met me, he made a quite racist remark.
But do you think that's racist? Because I used to work with a guy who was like a country guy as well, Aussie bloke, country. The guy was not racist at all, but he like the way he spoke and the way he came across and bagged me out because of my colour. That's just the way they joke. But like his wife
still
was
racist.
Spanish, and she was brown.
Doesn't make it okay.
No, but like the guy wasn't racist at
I
all. It's just
also
his
think-
lingo was. People that they were probably thinking, oh, he's racist, but he had no. There was no racism about him.
I think it's
The
in
guy
context
like
as well.
equally was a fuckwit to everyone. Nice guy.
But it's in context, right?
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
first meet a person, you don't immediately say, oh my God, you remind me of Harris Park. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
You don't say that, do you?
Yeah, no.
Listen, I won't go against you, eh?
You wouldn't say that, right? And Harris Park is like an amazing nightlife, like they say. I haven't been there. Should try it.
Where am I from? Macquarie Fields?
I don't
Belmore.
know. Where do the Islanders hang out?
Campbelltown. Mount Druitt.
I don't know. Like, they're everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
People have just, you come here for free. You flash your New Zealand passport and you're all good, man.
That's true, eh?
Anyway, yeah. I mean, it's because that's that condition between Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah.
So you're not allowed to go on Centrelink payments.
So are you still working in this department?
No.
You,
No.
Have
No,
you,
she's in there, yeah. I knew.
I left to another one.
Can you go back to this department? No.
I mean, I suppose if I wanted to, because I left on good,
Good time.
good terms. I'm a
Yeah.
hard worker. They could say that. But like when you're not happy with that level of what's going on in there,
Yeah.
and it wasn't about the work. Like the workload will always be high. I'm a procedure type person, systematic.
Yeah.
So the high workloads would never impact me anyway. But it was knowing that your colleagues could never progress in that organization because they weren't ticking the boxes of being white. Like they would give a token, gesture to a brown person here and there. But you predominantly had to be white to progress. And then you had to, and like people of our backgrounds, we don't kiss ass.
Yeah.
I'm not kissing anyone's ass. My work, my progression should be based on my work.
Exactly.
But people who progress there, tick the boxes, white and kissed ass. Because they know the
yeah,
game.
of course.
They know the game.
Yeah.
Or you be quiet, you do what you're told, you fly under that radar, you progress and be white.
Oh, well.
But I think that's in every kind of work.
No, not every, man. It just depends who's running it. Like, I think
but there's
government-
always
I've always
other-
found government like that.
Yeah, of course, but like
That's
there's-
me, bro.
No, I
there's
think
always
it's everywhere, private
hardworking
and
people, and then
Private,
there's always
not
kiss-ass
really, because you
people.
see a lot of in private industries or like transport and that. There's a lot of islanders in transport that are big bosses. You know what I mean? So it doesn't really. I think it's more
Who's
just
the
government.
CEO? Who's the
You know, you'd
commissioner?
be surprised with CEO apart from the smell. I mean,
The only ethnic I know, like on top of my head, is the Macquarie Bank.
no,
Woman,
you'd
brown.
be,
Woman, brown.
Dakin. Remember Dakin? Like you get, there's a lot of companies. The big bosses might be Middle Eastern, Islanders.
Yeah.
But how many islanders in transport that are big? You know what I mean?
There's a few island big bosses.
Like if
in
you look at
Colville.
Australia Post, I think he was
Is
Arab.
he still there?
Yeah, he's the big boss there.
They don't like him. He did a great job.
Yeah, but
They didn't like him because he was brown.
you really think so? Always?
Oh,
Not
come on.
always.
If it was a guy with like a white appearance, they
would've
would
stayed
all
there.
be like okay
Yeah.
with it. It's like
Yeah.
what's happening in Palestine.
Yeah.
You know, if those children were white,
No way. Yeah,
blue-eyed,
of course.
No way. If
No way.
it was the roles reversed
Yeah.
and it was the Zionist children being attacked,
But they wouldn't
I
even
mean,
touch them.
the American
The
army
whole
would be in
world,
there.
yeah.
It's always about whiteness.
Because remember, from the start, people were really starting supporting the other side, right? But until all these new videos came out and seeing what actually was really happening, now everyone can see, you know.
Why do you think the
if you
journalists are
look at-
targeted?
But
Yeah.
if you look at protests, a lot of white people there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heaps.
That's the thing that they didn't get with this current war and this occupation. They had most of the rhetoric, right? It was always going the Zionist way. What they didn't realize is that the younger generation is too woke for them. You know, we all make fun of the woke people, you can't offend them.
Yeah.
But these kids, these younger people are too woke. You know, they're not gonna tolerate what they see as an injustice. Doesn't matter what side it is.
So what do you think of this whole woke thing?
I'm woke.
What do you mean by you're woke?
I'm woke, you know. I'm like, I'll just don't want to be, you know, you shouldn't go out and offend people. I don't even know what woke is, but
Woke is like
It's like, you know-
So woke is like don't say nothing offensive. Woke can be like cut any videos off that deem offensive. Could be like you're gonna support the LGBTQ community. You're gonna support transitioning, all that stuff. Like that's all
I
woke.
wouldn't support
Some stuff and not
all
some
of
stuff.
it,
Okay.
some of it.
Okay.
Just like, especially anything to do with like discrimination, sexism, racism. You know, like it's not, you're gonna have that opinion.
Yeah.
It's like Pauline Hanson, right? Why is she allowed to have that horrible opinion? You know, like her constant disgusting opinion that's always brought, and people support her, which is quite offensive in itself, you know?
Yeah.
Like, why is she allowed to have that? Why can't we have our own opinions? Why can't we step up and say things about, you know, we're not okay with what the Zionists are doing, but we'll be immediately shut down. But Pauline Hanson could say whatever she
So,
wants.
yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Because she's white.
Yeah.
You know, and she feeds into that, you know, angry mob mentality. You know, they're all taking our jobs. You know, have you guys heard of that? Like, is it you guys as well? You know, you'll get a racist comment thrown at you. Oh my God, they're taking our jobs. Make up your mind. Are we taking your jobs or are we on welfare?
Yeah. Sure.
You know, like it depends on what mood they're in that day. We're
Exactly,
taking their
yeah,
jobs
yeah,
or
yeah.
you know, we're all on welfare. We ethnic people help build this country. And we continue to help build this country because those work sites are full of brown men, Asian men, anything, hardly any white men. We're still building the country.
No, you get a lot of Irish. A lot of Irish in the building game.
They're technically Palestinian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting, man.
So yeah, once we were throwing like racist comments on Facebook. My ancestors built this country. I said, hold back, stop. Our ones are still building it for you. Our ones are still
Yeah.
willing to get their hands dirty and work hard. You guys have all moved to office jobs, which is great in itself because it's going to help. It's a 50-50 split.
Or they're on Centrelink, to be honest. So
That's the good
for
ones.
construction, I think there's-
They're the ones that
for sure.
complain the most,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We're taking their
Yeah,
jobs.
yeah.
Not that they wanted them.
You know, I reckon like infrastructure-wise,
It's there.
infrastructure-wise, I think there's going to be a shortage of a lot of trades. No one wants to work
No one
anymore.
wants to work now.
It's going to be the new big thing where like, oh, we need workers again, and they're going to start getting paid big dollars. That's what I think.
It's because the cost of living has gone up. Are you going to go to a work site for $30 an hour, or does that pay the bills, or do you want to go there for $50-$60 an hour?
It depends, but some traders do get paid big money. Some, a lot of them have their businesses. Some are sole traders, you know?
Yeah, you need to, right?
The whole construction game, they get paid good.
Yeah.
There's always a guy that does labouring. There's always a certain community that wouldn't mind the labouring.
Yeah, see?
And they go in cheap because they're hard workers, so they'll
See?
do more hours to earn the same.
See who's building the country physically?
Yeah. It's very important
Yeah.
for physical.
You do. You have a lot of, people from, like the Asian area, the Middle Eastern area. I'm just thinking about the continents of the world, like these are predominantly them.
Yeah.
That are building it.
Yeah, and even the islanders are on the work sites.
Well, islanders, a lot of them are scaffy. No, scaffies. Scaffolders, yeah.
But even look at the like the warehouse work too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like transport, logistics.
Yeah, logistics.
All islanders.
All islanders. A lot of
They're on the floor.
Yeah, I ran into
Management. Yeah, man. They're on a lot of
sports
stuff.
mum the other day, and all her kids and the islanders are all said, "How are the kids going? Are they still doing cricket?" Because they were just amazing.
I don't know, islanders cricket.
Yeah.
Whatever here.
No, but they played for,
Well,
but they did a lot of Samoan.
Samoan cricket.
Yeah, it was very different.
Yeah.
what's that?
It's like a bigger baseball bat, and they full peg it at you. It's hard, bro. Like,
Yeah.
It's really
So
And
hard.
they played for Samoa.
So it's baseball.
So it's like you
No.
slap the underarm, or I don't know if you
Oh, no,
peg
it's,
it.
the other one, no, it's underarm. They can do both.
Yeah, they can roll it, but it's like hard, bro. You know how hard it's to hit this ball? It's like a cricket ball.
I reckon I could hit it.
But it's just, and I think they went to Samoa and they
Yeah.
played for him.
Wow.
It's pretty big.
So, but they're all in
yeah.
transport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense now.
This one guy I knew, he was going up in the Penrith rankings, Penrith Panthers. He gave it all up because he got a big job at Coles. Like he became like team leader, and now he's pretty big in Coles now.
A team leader's not that big.
Yeah, but at the time, like because sometimes like, see with Islanders too, they wouldn't go to a trade because it's like you easily get the money. Like it's like levels, right?
They want quick money.
They want quick money. That's what it is. Yeah, they'd rather just get paid $35 an hour off the bat.
He's smart because you're thinking about your future because NRL isn't forever.
That's right. Yeah,
It's what, 10 years max? That's average, on average, 10 years. What are you going to get paid? And that contract ends up being over,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
You might end up on really, really big bucks, but eventually it's going to run out.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah,
be
of
smart
course,
with
of
your.
course. You gotta be very
smart with your
smart.
financial. Yeah.
Because they're not like these NBA players that get millions
Even
and
then, man, you
millions.
get a lot of them. Even if you got like 20, 30 million, man, if you don't have your financials
Yeah,
together,
well,
you
look at
burn through it really quickly.
You know, Shaq, his first contract, he blew it in 2 days.
Yeah.
If he didn't get a business manager that week, because he went and bought 2 cars, he didn't know that he had to pay taxes. And then
Yeah, that's
gone.
right.
Yeah.
It's very good with his money now.
Oh yeah,
Very generous.
very. He owns so many like
Yeah, it's like a restaurant or something. Yeah, like a whole chain of them or something.
Yeah, a whole chain of them.
I don't know, but the man's really tall.
I mean, it is. What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
You'll be like a beaver next
Imagine
week.
like
Man, I think I'd come up to his knees.
imagine getting slammed by it.
I hope that wasn't a rude thing. 'Cause you're recording this.
No.
I reckon I'd come up to his knees.
You shouldn't be saying that, man. She's gonna swing like George of the Jungle. Hey.
Be assuming he's got George the Jungle.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't know. I ain't Shaq. I can't check. So would you always stay in government jobs? Is that something that you like?
Yeah,
You seem like you enjoy it. Like
Yeah, you seem like you love that. Like it's a bit
not
of a
like-
chaos type environment. You like it.
no, it depends, right?
Sorry,
Other
it's
than
just
that,
a spider.
I know,
Yeah.
other than that, that experience at the other place, they usually don't really discriminate. They don't care what you look like. You get a job and you get in. And you do your work. You get paid
Would you
for
ever
it.
work like
you get
but
paid
you
for
seem
it.
passionate.
industry? Would you
No.
ever? You'd always do government.
Yeah, I just don't.
That's something you've
You
always
still,
liked,
right?
government working.
Yeah, I mean, you get good entitlements. You
So how long have you been fully in the
Like in the government game. Like
Oh, yeah, over 7 years.
Oh, wow.
Maybe longer. Because I've done,
How's the luck? You guys long service here?
no,
That's
not
10
yet.
years, isn't it?
What's your
10 years because I
How's
jumped.
that?
It's a Mozzie, it's 18 men.
we'll be wrapping it up.
Yeah, wrap it up because
Yeah.
it's pretty horrendous here, man.
That's pretty good, that chat, man. It's good that you came back.
No, thanks for coming.
No worries.
Are you going to come back again? Maybe come back with some more women so we could maybe talk about something else.
What, woman chat? We'll talk about
Maybe a woman chat about men and women. I think that'd be pretty good.
We always win the debate.
No, that's not going to happen this time.
No.
I'm here.
You know, you know how funny it'll be?
It'll be very funny because I know you girls are going to what's wrong? Oh, the camera caught you now.
You delete that. Anyway.
No, yeah, that'll be, it's an interesting topic, that one, especially these days.
Which one?
Women, men, why women think men are like this, men think women are the problem, that stuff. Would you be interested in that?
Yeah, we could
Would
do
your
what
friends
women
come
want.
next time?
I'll have to wrap up.
Well, not here, definitely not here.
Yeah,
No, not here, not here. It's going to be it's going to be at the warehouse. So the only reason why we didn't tell you to go there is because the aircon's getting done this week.
That's not even hot.
It's not. I was banking on it to be warm, muggy.
Yeah, it was muggy during the day.
Yeah, that's why. So I was like, no way. Everyone's going to be doing this and that and like that. So no, man, don't
That's
go.
all right.
So I thought we'll do it in the
thanks for coming,
backyard.
yeah. Sorry, it was a bit.
What's
Sorry about the
deal?
smell.
Yeah.
The camera doesn't know that. You know, your audience doesn't know
I think the
that.
audience can smell it. Yeah. So see if your friends can come, we could probably have that chat. You know? Push back on some of your points. What do you reckon?
Yeah. I'm just thinking about who.
You probably end up agreeing with us at the end. Okay, you know what?
No.
You're right. Yeah, trust me.
No.
Trust me.
You know, because, you know, the world is full of male leaders that suck.
You know what? If it wasn't for men, the world's going to stop.
If it wasn't for men, there wouldn't be wars.
But there are wars.
Yeah.
This is reality. No
Yeah.
matter what.
But
If
us women will talk about it.
No.
Yeah, we
If
don't.
women were in charge, this place would be hell.
Us women will
Patriarchy is
talk.
always known to punch on more.
You know, okay.
That's right, we're
advertise
vicious.
war,
We'll just
okay.
kind of get rid of each
Advertise
other.
war more
Okay.
than men.
How about if men were the ones that got their period? You reckon this world be upside down?
Oh my God.
Yeah, so could you imagine them?
You guys would
Once a month there'll be a war.
be a bunch of sooks. You can't even handle the flu.
All I know is there's one thing. I'm going to wrap it up with this, and then on the next pod, you're going to come
okay.
with your friends, and then we're going to discuss this.
Okay.
If men disappear from this planet, women won't last for even a day.
I thought about this.
You know why? Just the roads and the sewage system underneath needs to be maintained every hour. If you don't maintain that for 24 hours, there's going to be shit flying out
It's
of
okay.
it.
We'll dig a hole in the ground and shit in it. We'll come up with different ways,
It's all
you know?
good to dig. No, it's all good to
We
dig.
adapt.
It's all good to dig and fertilize that grass, but when you're driving somewhere, all that shit's just going to rip up the road. You're going to see banana peels and shit
It's
just
okay.
fly everywhere. Okay, that's one thing.
We're recording. We're recording.
It's already at the camera end.
That's a light.
It's to make him look pretty.
I'm going to cut all this off.
yeah.
No,
No, leave it.
probably. Yeah. That's just that. Petrol, oil refineries, everything that women rely on will be gone.
Yeah, we'll adapt and eradicate
There's
it.
no way you're going to
Eliminate
adapt
it.
and lift up a 100-kilo sewage pipe to maintain it. It's not happening. There's a lot of physical jobs that it's
So
for
we'll
women.
get the
It's hard.
tractors and whatever machinery required
Infrastructure
to do
will stop. Infrastructure will stop straight away. No one wants to build a house or cement or render or smart electricity.
it. You don't need to.
Nothing. How are you going to live?
Because
How are the foods going to get delivered?
if the men died out, we couldn't really reproduce, right?
Either way, you can't reproduce, but women are only going to last that one day and it's game over. Now, if you take women out of the picture, we'll survive. Now, we're going to die out because we can't reproduce, but we will survive because we know how to maintain the
We'll
world.
be fine, I reckon, because we'd all have. Oh my God, my leg's crapping.
What's going to happen
We'd
is
have
going
a
to...
bunch of lesbians.
So what's going to happen is the world, look, if it's only going to be guys, the world's going to be full of those people that she was dealing with. And that's it.
Yeah, but prisons are predominantly made up of men.
You know how?
Why is
So
that?
we're good. I don't know.
Hey, listen.
See what I mean?
Impulsive, erratic.
Now, you know what? We'll wrap this up on the next one.
You have to
gotta
wrap it
bring
up
your
before
friends.
because Mum was in there.
Now I've got to wrap it up now officially with Auntie in there. And then next time when you come, man, we're going to talk about that topic. Thanks for coming, Sunshine.
No worries.
We'll see you next
Thank you.
time. man.
Yeah. Really appreciate it.
My leg went numb.